Welcome to episode 14 of the Sackcast. Here is your host, Hamish and Dale. Today the lads discuss when we could get back to a close normal and other garbage. This episode is sponsored by North Ants Wargamers. Will they ever return?
So,
no, I think the Jags are going to need all the love they can get. I think it's going to be a 3-13 season for them.
oh, it's not good considering I'm a massive Jags fan, but it's gonna be pretty shit for you considering that you're a Patriots fan.
Yeah, but I mean, even we've all seen it. Even you know what, they could get rid of all their star players and find second blib blob from the left. And Belichick,
they would still do well.
Belichick will still manage to drag something out of that kid. There's no that is it. But the good thing about the Jags is that it is a complete rebuild. Fournette's out, Endok's out. Like it's from the ground up. It is. I know it's not Saxonville of a few years ago, and I know we always talked about could they contain and maintain that defense. But it's
it's going to be rough.
It's going to be rough. There's going to be a lot of that, but it's still no Washington football team.
No. Anyway, welcome to another episode of the Sackcast, episode 4, I believe.
14, season 14, 2, episode 4.
Season 2, episode 4, or episode 14 if you're a long-standing member.
OG.
It's your usuals. We've got me, I'm Hamish, and we've got my buddy and other host, Dale.
Hello.
Hi. So we were discussing about the new NFL football seasons. We're not going to blast on about that. I know probably too much, but Dale's a Patriots fan and I'm a Jags fan, and we're both we're going to have a pretty shitty season. So we're just going to probably sit there and go, well, it was good fun. I'm hoping we don't do too bad, and we'll probably have an alternate team to kind of root for. That is probably good. But
my alternate team I'm rooting for is the Jags. What's going on?
Oh, that's your alternate team. My alternate team is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look at it this way: in our division, the Bills are going to win, but you still got the Jets and the Dolphins who are meh.
Anyway, yeah, we'll see.
Whatever.
We'll see how this pans. Whatevs. Anyway, so Dale's probably sounding may notice, may not. But if you're wondering why he sounds like he's just been gargling shit, it's because he's had his tooth out. So
one of them, not all.
Not all of his teeth are removed.
I
so
had
he's now,
not one single tooth out.
He's now called Gummy Dale Small, which actually, now that I say that, sounds like a very, very good restaurant / American drink.
Gummy Dale Small.
Welcome to Gummy Dale Smalls. How can I help?
I have no idea. So.
It sounds like I have no idea about what part of America that may be in, but it sounds and feels very southern. Hey, welcome to Gummy Dale Smalls.
I mean,
can I take your order?
I have lived in Alabama before, so
maybe Alabama. Maybe you could set up a restaurant called Gummy Dale Small.
There you go.
Maybe
if you want to get people
Gummy
angry, college football. That's where you get people angry.
And maybe they could be sponsored by the Gummy Dale Small Association.
What are you on about?
I think it's just the word gummy and small, and then Dale is just a nice little link word to that. So the Gummy Dale Small. I love it.
I mean,
I trademark that shit.
Yours would be a really posh, fancy restaurant. Hello, welcome to Hamish Chisholm Brown's. Would you like to?
Well, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. It's a very, very Scottish name, so it should be a very it should be based somewhere in Scotland. But unfortunately, because it's double-barreled, it does sound rather posh. But we're both, we grew up in the streets, yo.
So the hard streets.
No, not you. Well, yeah, no. No, I was brought up in a village technically, just outside Corby.
Okay, sorry, you're from Corby.
Yeah, that was rough in the 90s, mate. You were born in Milton Keynes.
Sorry, it's still rough now.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm not going over this. We've done this before. It's not.
Slag
anyway.
off Northamptonshire.
Yeah, big up. No shop, Northampton. No shops, Northampton. Oh, what a joke of a town! What a joke of a county!
I love Northampton.
It's just, when you're comfortable in your own feces. It kind of feels like that.
Oh wow.
Well, no, it's true though. When you just surround yourself in your own shit in your house, and you're kind of like, well, I'm just used to this shit. It doesn't disturb me. But when someone else comes in, they're like, it's a bit, not my jam. I like my own jam. Northamptonshire is like that. If you've been in it long enough, you kind of just accept it, and it's fine. But for anyone else coming in, yeah, you're not really, don't expect much.
I'm really, because I'm in, my village is Buckinghamshire, but ooh, that sounds so posh. But one of the next village over is Northamptonshire, and I'm really glad because we get rubbish collection every single week, whereas they only get alternate weeks.
Yeah, I know. See, it's just, and you get to throw. Well, the only thing that makes your town look like a scumhole is because you don't have a bin. You just chuck your rubbish out on the in your bag on the street, and they'll come and pick it up. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool, but it does make your streets look a bit trashy for the day before their bin collection. It just looks a bit trashy, literally.
I'll have you know, parts of Superman 4 was filmed in Milton Keynes.
Oh. Well, was there a scene where they had to go around a lot of roundabouts? We need a place with lots of roundabouts. There's one place we know. Milton Keynes.
Oh, mate. It's... I don't even want... There's no point in...
you don't need... Yeah, you're like, shit, that's it. Right. I've got you there. Anyway, so...
Welcome to the South Midlands / Milton Keynes isn't South Midlands. It's not North London. It's not East Anglia. Something.
It's just in the middle of fucking nowhere that no one cares about.
Middle of nowhere. Welcome to the Middle of Nowhere cast.
Yeah, that's it. We did have an attempt of record. If you're wondering why have you guys been so long, and you probably never asked that because you probably never even cared. But
no, Hamish, we had a break. It was summer holidays. It's a stressful time. We had a break.
Yeah, we had a because it was so stressful doing this, because we're so busy these days. We did attempt to record. Dale showed up around mine, and we did a recording, and we actually told him, this was really good. We were really happy with this.
This is our best recording. This is grade A turd, and
it turned out the conversation was great. The actual audio quality was turd. Which is usually the other way around, in my opinion, where the audio is actually all right, it's manageable, but the conversation's just a joke, and I don't know why. And you lot tune in, so there you go. We may have a spot guest.
Who's around?
Mark.
Oh.
We may have a guest, everyone. This shit's live right now.
Right. It's Mark. He's here.
Hey!
Magically.
Hello.
Look who just dropped on in.
Well, I just saw that there was a voice chat going on in the Discord, and it wasn't a Tuesday, so I was intrigued.
It could pique your interest. So, well, when we said at the start, Dale, that it was just two. Well, surprise, everyone. We got Mark, so if you didn't see that coming, neither did we. So, hey Mark, how are you?
I always like to surprise you, don't I, Hamish?
Oh God, not. I hope it's not like the last time.
I was like, oh yeah, I've had a girlfriend for a year. Like,
I remember that.
Yeah, you never asked.
That was it. I was sitting there going, I was like, I said, mate, how's your love life going? You went, it's going fine. I've got a girlfriend. I was like, since when? For a year. I was like, what? All right, okay. And then I said, why didn't you say anything? You went, you never asked. And I was like, what the fuck would I just ask? I said, it's like.
I mean, you're quite a forthright. You're quite a forthright guy, so I would have thought.
Well, I'm not going to just walk up and I said, well, what have I got to do?
Or maybe I just didn't think you were interested in me.
No, but what made it worse was I was like, I left it for flipping ages, and then I was like, oh yeah, how's your missus? And you went, oh, I've dumped her for mums. I was like, what? Why didn't you say anything? I was like, Jesus Christ. You went, what? And let me guess. You didn't tell me because I didn't ask, and you went, you've now got it. And I was like, great. So now every week I'm going to say, have you got a girlfriend yet? You got a girlfriend yet? One day I'll be sitting there going, Mark, have you got any serious illnesses? Are you just going to die and then I'll only find out?
Oh yeah, I've got 6 weeks to live.
No, yeah, what when? Well, you never asked. Anyway, so, welcome aboard again, Mark. So, we've got no content, have you?
I do kind of, and it is kind of tangentially related to you in a way.
Can I just point out, I have content. Yeah. You haven't prepped. I've prepped. So
sorry everyone. I'm just doing what I normally do. I'm just a giant face that just goes, fuck it. Let's do this now. And then I tell myself every time, if only I just prepped.
If only I tried in life.
Yeah. That would solve quite a few problems of my life. If only I prepped. Anyway, so content, everyone.
I'll wait for this.
I'm just gonna.
I can guess what this is, and I'm gonna love it.
What? Is it Guild Ball, Mark? Is that?
Well, it's related to Guild
Ball.
All right. I generally thought you were gonna go, because if anyone didn't know, Guild Ball is discontinued. So in comes the fucking look what Hamish has done.
Well, the thing is,
killed another game.
Well, I mean, you kind of have, but I mean, it's like you saw the kind of like a press release blog post that they did about finishing it, and it's like you had it's like Jamie Perkins is a guy that I know from like War Machine days, and he's a good lad, and you've got the guy that did the story and stuff. But then you look at the two top head honchos of Steamforged Games, and they're being pricks about it.
Didn't they just explain the competitive?
It was just like, we're discontinuing
this game.
It's all you
guys wanted to play this good that fucking ruined us.
It's your fault. It's your fault.
Well, no, that's the thing though. It wasn't even just like that. It was kind of like passive aggressive kind of like bitchy tone to kind of like, the game design space was limited because people took it too seriously and things like that. And it's like, the thing is, like, you made Guild Ball to court the refugees from Mark III War Machines. So it's like you made a rod for your own back there, really.
Oh, it was a joke. And when I saw that, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You're basically saying, all you tournament goers fucked yourselves. Oh, maybe if you invested properly and actually, listen to your community, maybe that wouldn't have screwed you over.
Yes, the deep lore of Guild Ball.
Oh, God, yeah. Riveting shit. Anyway, so if anyone, also for a slight bit of context, I don't know if I might have even said this on other podcasts.
Hamish is the game killer.
I am dubbed as that. That is the meme of
Hamish will play a game, and if he plays a game, it dies.
Yeah, so
it dies at the club anyway. but now it has, like, the past couple of times now it has branched out into the real world.
Yeah, this is my third real world ending now. So, Netrunner, Conquest. I actually did. Sorry, Game of Thrones players. I actually had one game, so I guess you can just tie my poison into that one.
No, not really. No, that didn't die for a couple of years after you.
Well, I suppose.
And it didn't actually die. It just went to the end of its cycle. They released everything. It was like, well, guess we're done.
What's that? But the thing is, you could say that about Guild Ball.
Well, no, because apparently there's a load of teams that haven't been released yet.
Well, they're still doing they're ending out the season. They're releasing the rest of the season basically, and that's it. But I mean, it opens a really good question. Like, when you've got a game which is played and people enjoy, when do you call it a day? Do you sit there trying to flog that dead horse like Privateer Press, or do you kind of go, okay, we're done now. We've done what we wanted to do. We've taken this as far as we want to go. We're not going to blame our community.
Yeah, we're not going to tell it's your fault.
But when do you go? Okay.
How dare you all buy our shit? It's you that fucking killed it.
We've done what we wanted to do. We did a successful game. Was it 5 seasons they did? We're done.
I think so, yeah. Well, the thing is, like, with Guild Ball, it was a little bit different, because, like, Privateer Press, even though things aren't looking completely rosy for them, from what I've heard from the War Machine players that we have at the club, the game is better than ever. And also, they're doing this whole Warcaster thing, and I'll have to have a proper look into that to see if it's any good or not. As I said, I'm not really all that enthused about the models.
Well, we discussed this before, where we said, like, we want to see what it plays like. We want to play that game and get our hands on it and try it. But yeah, the models look for kind of Infinity-esque.
Yeah, we discussed this in the last one, didn't we?
Yeah, Infinity if they had too many cheeseburgers.
But people,
Infinity on cheese. American Affinity.
Yeah.
Yeah. The chubby Infinity.
Is Corvus Belly the Spanish company just going like...
Yeah, Corvus Big Belly.
Big Belly. Yeah. But no, the Privateer Press is still, as much as they're a far shot from their original times, they're still going.
Yeah. So I mean, they're not like the GW killer that they were back in their heyday, but it's still plenty like that Monster Apocalypse and then Warcaster coming out. Still plenty popular enough.
Yeah, they're chugging along. But yeah, Guild Ball. Yeah, when does a game end its cycle? Don't know really. It's money. So do you want to continue to try and find a way to keep this thing going? I don't really know. It's a hard thing. I don't know if it's totally the same as computer games, but it has that same sort of vibe of a video game where it's, it's a great game. It's still a great game, and it probably may still sell some copies, but you can't play that game forever. Or you can.
It is weird, because the thing is, it's like with me, with like Necromunders, like the new edition came out in 2017. Up until then, a Necromunda release hadn't been made since like 1998, something like that, and I'd progressively been playing it ever since then, up until this point with the new edition came out. So it's like it's weird how some things stick and some things don't.
But it's the longevity. So Blood Bowl, which again, there's another version of Blood Bowl version 2 coming out. Like Blood Bowl, Necromunda, just the game is fun. That's the whole point. I don't think it's a competitive game. Whereas you couldn't do that with a game designed to be really competitive.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like without a constantly evolving thing with like new packs or new models and stuff coming out, there isn't the meta is going to stagnate, and eventually every single kind of like optimal thing will be worked out, and then that's not going to be interesting for the more competitive mindset.
That's or at least
I suppose really what people consider dead is that it's the
you play
initial community hype of things, and then in the end it will just peter out to a fairly lowish level, and then that's when casual gamers may come and dip in and out and grab it and stuff, and then in the end they probably just stop investing in trying to make it. I think it's just knowing when to sort of just go, you know what, should we just kind of leave it as it is and just leave, we've still got stock out there just to sell, that stock will just sell itself in the end, and no one's bothered about anything new. Let's just work on a new thing to kind of get people to, it's like bam and then down and then bam and then down again. It's like I've treated it like a video game in that respect. And the only time you're ever going to get something that is a classic of continuous playing is when you're in the level of Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, GW, those sort of levels where it doesn't matter. If that is a real hobby in itself. I think that's a dream everyone wants to get to.
GW is still evolving. It's still growing that game. Who's playing 3rd edition? Who's playing?
No, but fair enough. But the thing is that
which is the best?
which
is the best edition?
No, well, yeah, it was a great edition. But it's still people are still playing that game. It's almost just like when they release, I don't know, like I do keep comparing it back to video games when is it a game that is meant to be a lifestyle, or is this a video game where it's this is it?
Yeah. And is it a standalone,
so you mean,
or has it got DLC?
No. Standalone or game as a service.
Yeah. so Fortnite is one of those ones that just keeps this formula doesn't change. You love the formula. We're just gonna keep just adding some shit to it and just making that interesting. Or are we like, I don't know, Dark Souls, where it's still a classic, it's an amazing playthrough game, but it's not something that you just keep going on forever. You do it and then you're done. So I'd say probably there's a lot of games should probably look at, they want to be GW style where they're just big and everyone's excited about everything they do, but it's not real. It's too stagnant now. It's too popular now. Everyone wants to try and be at that level.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know whether I agree with that. The thing is, I don't think that really anyone can get to that level. They don't.
No, I don't think they can.
They don't have the resources, and one of the main things with GW is that all of the miniatures are made in house. They've tapped out Nottingham's power supply. They can't make any more at the moment. They can't get the machine spinning anymore at the moment, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I love that.
But the thing is, it's to get. I suppose to get to that level, you need to be kind of one of the first-ish ones, or
so it's a different approach
to understand the market.
So Star Wars has a really huge expanded universe. It has a huge fan base, and that broke into the model scene and has done very well at that. Now, is it got the longevity?
Those games dip it. No.
Now, has it got the longevity of GW? Now, GW, I would say, cult-like in the cult of personality is more akin to an RPG rather than an actual game. It's because it's got that, I don't know.
I think people are really invested into the story, so they're using different mediums to sort of be a part of that story. It did originally come from the model scene, so that is what's such a big strong point on it. But I reckon if other games had, a generally very, very interesting lore-rich, stuff, then that can tie into, a card game, or that can then be into a video game.
Who's into the lore of card games?
Well, maybe that's the thing,
Pokemon
no
and
one's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
bothered.
Magic did actually have a pretty good things. Like with every like new edition of Magic, there was actually a novel written for it about the story. They don't do that anymore. But
no, because no one gives a shit.
No,
no. But then that's when that's the sort. I don't know. There's obviously more than one way to sell shit, but.
Well, that's the thing. The main thing is like with GW is it's already entrenched. It's been entrenched for like 30 plus years. The story. How it works.
I am waiting for so much butthurt of when they introduce female Space Marines. It's gonna absolutely.
Why would there be a butthurt about that?
Oh, you've seen the fans.
Well, no. If people coming at me with their, with their
hot takes.
Yeah. Unless I'm wrong, but isn't the Sisters of Battle?
No, but it's
no.
The whole point.
Sisters of Battle are
here we
go. Women. Well, I say quote unquote normal women for the Imperium.
They're mortal humans.
Power armor.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like female Space Marines. It doesn't really matter because the amount of fucking surgery and brainwashing they do on them by the time they come out the other end as a Space Marine.
Space Marines, they don't have dongs.
They could quite well be female.
They're
They could be.
They're dongless.
You could just say they are.
Yes, you
Who
could.
gives a fuck?
You literally could. It's like actually giving them kind of like boob plate and things like that.
No,
would
but
be
I don't even
superfluous
think you need
anyway.
to.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you
like-
wouldn't need. You wouldn't even need to.
You-
They
you-
could
you-
turn around and go.
you could
These
just
are
go-
women.
Yeah.
They surgically removed their breasts so they could fit into the armor because they didn't.
Well, it's not even surgically removed. It's just kind of like the
They've
hormones
enhanced
and
their breast
It's like-
muscles.
that last cannon is called Susan. It's like it's superfluous and perfunctory, to be honest. Any gender can be a spaceman in my eyes.
There you go. Who knows if it's even a human behind the mask?
That's the thing. Is like that they're 8 foot genetically engineered, drugged up superhumans. It's like the notion of gender to them is like in the distant past to them.
Yeah, exactly. The only thing that makes them, the only thing that you see is a face, and that face is just shaven head of a human.
With
that
fucking
could be
wires
anything.
coming out of it.
Yeah, you could, and I know that has the features of a manly face, but you could just slap a woman's face on that, and everyone would be like,
Well, you can-
I can imagine everyone go,
You can already
Well, I
buy
mean-
some good
it'd be
female
ridiculous.
face sculpts for Space Marines and stuff like that. So you could do it already. You could 3D print as well. But, I mean, you just
No, I mean, that's the thing is like you've got GW's female face molding process, which has been hit and miss. It's like it's been pretty good in Necromunda with the Escher and stuff like that, but then you look at like some of the old Sisters of Battle and some of the stuff in fantasy and stuff, and it's like,
it's all. I just remember the butthurt when they put out that statement. Just like, you know what? If you don't agree in equality, we don't care about you, and we look forward to you not playing our game. And the amount of
well, that was during that Black Right.
I know, but that's. I mean, that shows you
Lives
the
Matter.
level of people who are not getting on board with the program. That's
Yeah.
I don't,
Wow.
I don't really like the term "the program."
what
In all honesty, that sounds like a cult.
the cult of GW.
Well, I mean, we've all been part of that cult for a while.
Cool. Yeah, I don't. We started off with what makes a game, and now we're fucking here. So, fuck you, GW. Anyway, so what's the next?
Well,
what was your thing, Mark? Yeah, I talked about. We talked about.
Well, I mean, we on a bit of a tangent because as soon as Guild Wars, everything went to shit. So.
Standard.
Another thing to throw in there as well. I was chatting to Dave over at Wargames Workshop Northampton, and we were talking about board game fatigue. You know how there's been this huge expansion of board games in the last 5 or 6 years, and now I think we've peaked peak board game, and we're now the other side of that peak. We've plateaued, and we're now on the decline, the slight decline.
Yeah, the bubble is starting to
That's
burst.
it. We're going to see a lot less of these small companies like building out this game, throwing these things out, seeing if it works and if it doesn't work. It's
what, like Steamforge games? It was like, we'll just do the Resident Evil board game.
Oh, the Steamforge games. The same people that made Guild Wars. Oh,
And the Dark Souls board game.
oh, that was shit.
hey, this is
It
who's
was-
doing the Horizon Zero Dawn? Who's doing that one? Is that
Steamforge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just buying up licenses like
Yeah.
it's going out of fashion.
Now
Now that the albatross of Guild Ball has been removed from their neck, they can be free to just do licensed bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey,
Pretty much. But the thing, yeah. Anyway, my point was how do you like? I actually put in, Privateer Press, Malifaux, Infinity. I always feel like they're the ones that are like as well. One of those things of how do we get? They're getting on the cusp of they're popular now. But how do you get to that level?
Well, again,
You're not GW, but you're interesting, and people, and it's just news travels. How do you get that?
Well, again, as I said, they carved out a niche. It's like with War Machine. It's like War Machine.
Infinity carved out a niche.
Well, no, yeah. Well, I'll go through it case by case. Whereas like War Machine started fucking years ago. Started off with an RPG setting back in like the early 2000s, and then it built up. And this was like to sound hips. It was before steampunk was cool. Basically, steampunk really wasn't a thing in the early 2000s, and they managed to ride on that wave quite nicely. Shame what they fucked up with the mismanagement of the rules and stuff like that. But we were all caught up in it.
They tapped in at the right time, and
it's timing. That's what I just said. It's timing.
It was well, not so much because the thing is,
GW was shit.
Yeah.
GW was
In terms of the industry timing, but in terms of the theme, no, because steampunk didn't become a big thing until after War Machine.
Well, it's also tapped in.
I agree. The steampunk helped.
They tapped into a stream of people who wanted a competitive game as well. GW was never meant to be a hardcore competitive game. They tapped into that edge and got that edge at the same time.
Well, yeah, they did. I think that is timing. All right, so that's that. And what about Malifaux?
Malifaux was more kind of. It was more kind of like a. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Malifaux setting, and that I feel it's a bit kitchen sinky. But the main thing was actually having a complex, small scale skirmish game that worked. Because to be honest, before then, you could probably point to like Confrontation from like the early 2000s.
You see, that's a game I never heard of it.
Confrontation.
Obviously, I've heard of it, but but it was not. But that's probably falls into the same thing. You know, that's a culprit.
Confrontation back in its day wasn't actually a competitor to GW in terms of how popular.
It was. I remember when first seeing those Confrontation models come out. What was it, like late 90s, early and it was just like,
it's like
wow.
They were just like miles
it
ahead.
Was mind blowing.
Like any other sculpts, and also affordable. They weren't like boutique models or anything.
The rules. No. The rules.
My experience of that was
the rules were a bit janky because they were like Google translated from
French into German and then into English. It was like, okay.
He got his mutation.
It was
all it is screeches. I mean,
that was the first.
Clicks.
That was the first game above the parapet. But then we're talking these things. GW only celebrated for 40k 30 years last year. Was it or something?
Around about.
That's still a long time.
It is a long time.
But the thing is how I generally think that sometimes in order for a game company to hit this level of hype, I generally think that timing is
and a unique and a hook that people can get on. It doesn't even necessarily need to be unique. It just needs to be something that people can hook on to.
Yeah, that's it. But I could sit there and say I generally feel Skytier has something that can offer something that is a very different experience to what people are used to nowadays, but it just is not the thing that anyone's heard of, and sometimes we will, as a club, will hear a game, and that quite a few places everywhere else is also hearing about this game. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of just going everywhere. The
thing is, it's like, that's the thing. It's like, how are they putting out? Because the thing is, at the end of the day, as much as I joke about it, Skytier is based off of like Dota and League of Legends. That is the basis of what it's on, and by that very nature, it's a virtual thing. So, how are they managing to try and transition people from the computerized version to the physical version?
Yeah, and I think I was thinking that they probably should have tried to see if they can, it's also selling it on. Did you really like Skytier? Not Skytier, Shadespire. This is something that if you're a fan of this, this game or Mech Warriors, the hex based board. If you love that,
Mech Warrior.
I know that's not a totally different game, but
but it's like
on hex boards,
within the same thing. Yeah,
there's something to look at. It's that's the thing. I know I'm probably just rambling on about this point,
I think with you, Hamish, is like you are kind of like in a way because you're stuck between two worlds because you appreciate the kind of like miniatures and the physical side of it, but then you also were there at the infancy of like League of Legends and stuff like that. So you can kind of
part, I never actually see that bit. That I honestly, full-heartedly, don't. That doesn't drive me to like the game. Actually, weirdly enough, that to me doesn't even seem to enter the realm of what I feel this is worth selling or celebrating.
Perhaps, but I think that perhaps subconsciously it is something that like clicks in your brain in terms of the mechanics and how they work.
It's actually the cards. Yeah, the mechanics and the
because that's the thing. It's like in League of Legends when you shoot a creep, it takes damage. There's no dice roll on that. And things like that. It's just kind of like very basic things that like you don't always like necessarily consciously register on it, but it's just kind of like how some of the things that Skytier is based on has like translated over and stuff like that. I think that maybe there's some correlation there.
Maybe, but yeah, maybe. I think my biggest point is that Netrunner just slapped into everyone's consciousness out, and it felt very much out of nowhere.
You're still,
and that was the thing that made me just
you're
go.
Still chasing that high. You're still chasing that high. That's it. It's like
yeah. I mean, it was timing in a way because I mean the thing is like in all honesty, I felt like kind of like the whole kind of like collectible card game thing was a ticking time bomb. It just needed that thing that needed like it found a niche, cyberpunk, kind of like futuristic, weird kind of stuff like that, which has always been popular anyway. And they managed to tap into that and have a good game system and decent thing behind it anyway. So it's like I'm in agreement.
So many great boxes and it was just a great timing to do it, and everyone just went, "Have you heard this?" And then it just boo everywhere.
Yeah, because that's the thing is like I remember the original. Well, technically it was Netrunner. It was called Netrunner, the one that was based off of the cyberpunk roleplay game. There was a collectible card game for that in the 90s. Didn't really take off because it got shit on by Magic. So it's not
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It got shit on by that.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's in Keyforge as well. But that's I look at that and go, well, people do look at a company and go, once the company's in, and they've got a few good track records, everyone just looks at that company and it will just by nature just sell attention.
I do have to like on that one though. Keyforge particularly is so novel in its approach. It's so new.
But it's made by Fantasy Flight. The fact it was made by Fantasy Flight got an attention.
I don't think it was the fact it was made by Fantasy Flight. I think it was the fact it was made by Richard Garfield.
Yeah.
And that. So yeah, he puts his name on anything and it fucking sells.
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't sell, everyone will look.
It will get attention. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll just what's Richard Garfield doing next? Oh.
Hello Kitty Adventure Time. The card game.
No, bloody shoot myself in the foot.
Oh, hello.
Anyway, we really have, which I apologise, really have went round that boat a bit.
Welcome to War Games Therapy for Hamish with Mark and Dale. But why won't people play my game? Well, Hamish.
Fucking play Skytier and piss off. Anyway, so questions, or is there anything else?
Do we have any questions?
I got a question from some of the historical guys from Northampton of how do we envision gaming moving back to a more normalized kind of thing. Like, so
could you not just say that with everything?
No, it's
it is a generalized thing, and I think that I mean we've already kind of discussed this before, where the thing is it's like by its very nature, if you're like doing like a miniature board game which is on like a 6x4 or a 4x4 or something like that, the social distancing is already being observed anyway. You've just got to be a little bit more conscious about, like, don't touch your opponent's models and things like that. I think it's eminently doable, and I've seen like other people doing it as well, even with like smaller scale stuff like Bushido, which is only on a 2x2, where it's like whenever it's their opponent's turn, they kind of like sit back a little bit and things like that.
So what about from when I was discussing this with some of our local gaming stores, one of them is predominantly a card gaming store. We were discussing about whether, I don't know, fucking everyone's going to be sick of this, but me saying about Skytear, but that was one of the very few miniature games that they were investing in, and it was this topic of how can we play this, and they were saying, well, the difficult part is that the fact that there is tangible stuff that other people can hold and touch potentially, so i.e. scenery and stuff like that. And I said, well, I can touch my models and you can touch yours though, right? And he goes, yeah, but unfortunately it does sort of feel you've got to sort of enter a bit of a space, whereas when it comes to card games, card games in its nature is a very much like, here's my box, there's your box, I really do not need to be, I don't need to touch your shit at all.
Unless you're playing a blue control deck that takes control of your opponent's creatures or something.
Yeah, sure, but you could still go fine and put it. Yeah, you don't have to touch my shit. I can just go. I get what you mean. It's still in my box, but it's not.
It's there.
It's not.
Yeah.
Rather than
so that's why it's worked for card games, because they can go
rather than sitting in one of the single file fold out tables, they push two of them together and have a bit more space. Yeah, it's
Yes. So I can see the card games is clearly working in that respect. But but with model games, yeah, you're right, distancing and everything. But how do you operate that in the world of scenery?
That's the thing, is like, well, I mean, in terms of us as a club, it would be a case of we just have
how does it work for us? Basically,
well, no.
Yeah. Do what you fucking want.
So
we'd have to clean stuff.
We would have to clean stuff, but ultimately as well, basically you can take the idea that charities do. When you donate something to a charity, it has to be isolated for 72 hours. So now, if a club meets weekly or fortnightly, that scenery is isolated for more than 72 hours.
It's like, that's the thing, you just get stuck in a dark cupboard for a week.
Festering with COVID.
Well, I mean, to be honest, considering some of the other stuff growing in that place, you'd probably get fucking killed off anyway.
Yeah, that scenery's got bigger things to worry about. Damp. No, I'm joking. Our venue's great. But yeah, in that respect.
The thing is,
if you're
well, the main thing is with us setting it out, because we want to make sure that even if we're asymptomatic or we feel fine or something like that, we're not passing things on. So it's like we make sure that we're like masked up and gloved up when we put stuff out. And I mean, that's the main thing, is like we put stuff out. So that way the interaction with the scenery is minimal for the patrons.
I was sorry.
I'm not to say, like, I'm looking, because this week there's been several clubs in the area have started the slow build up and have started meeting again this week. We can put in place everything we need to deal with scenery and tables and cleanliness. The key thing out of everything, and this is the big thing that clubs are going to be facing, is it financially viable? That's the big question. In the short term, there are still going to be people shielding. Do you have enough space to have enough people to put enough people in your facility to cover your costs? That's I think that's going to be the biggest issue.
The days of cramming in people are done. We're not. It's in the same world of a gig. Do you know what I mean? If you're gonna do a music venue, it's all about bums on seats, and you can't maximize that, and the whole buildings and the whole infrastructure for years and years and years. Never encountered a thing about space. It just meant how much fish can we put into this tin, and that was fine. But now we can't. Now you got to give the fish some space in the tin.
I really want to go back to work.
You really want to go back?
I really want to go back to work. I really want them to start events again, but I don't want people to die because I want to go back to work. So, hey,
yeah,
that's it.
As I said, it's like with us, it's like, well, the thing is, it's kind of a tricky thing because the thing is, we can put the right safeguards in place and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Dale said, yeah.
But due to the fact of the
venue's
that
closed.
we're at,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, venue's closed. That's that. But Dale's right. It's going to be the problem of getting numbers in because obviously we've based ourselves on, this is an average amount of attendance we get. We feel confident we can reach that number every time. Hence, that will pay rent. Can we deliver that? We're in a very lucky position where our venue could actually cater to the numbers with space. The next problem is confidence. I
mean, that's the thing.
People actually want to do it.
It's an understandable concern, but the thing is, I feel like that's the thing is like with us with the space that we have available to us and stuff like that. It's like we never really utilised all of it. So we, as I said, as you said, Hamish, like we're in a fortunate position where like we can spread out. We just chose to like centralise things to make it more convenient. We can still give the same amount of capacity to the number of games and people that we can have. We just have to spread it out a bit more. But as I said, we have that luxury. But obviously, not all game clubs and not all other people like doing gaming stuff do have that luxury.
So here's a good question then, and a bit of a lighter one because we're coming to the end now. What's the first game you want to play when you get back into a game, like into a situation where you can game with people? What's the first game you want to play?
I'll answer because it's really boring and absolutely obvious and typical. I wanna get Sky Tier being played, and there's a number of people that would like to have a go at that when we're back. And I'm probably going to run around with a bit of flesh and blood in between. So that's me done.
I want to push Ferg's shit in Magic.
Oh, his horrible, unengaging
burn deck. It's just kind of like...
no, it's that one where he has literally nothing and all he does is just take your shit away.
That's the thing. Is like that's why my burn deck's great because it's just like lightning bolt. 2 lightning bolts.
Great.
3 lightning bolts.
Great. There's only one way to beat this unengaging hellhole is another unengaging hellhole.
Well, you got to have life game, but then I've got counter against life game. So it's just
my God. That just seems so... well, great. I'll beat you at your own game.
Seriously, I do want to play Bushido because I'm putting together a new...
That's good.
I'm putting together Prefecture of Ryu.
Ooh.
I will actually keep my finger on the pulse on Bushido. To be fair,
it's as I said, it's really taking off now. So
of course it is because I'm not fucking playing it. What about you, Dale?
I've just pre-ordered the new Saga World Hannibal, which is Ancients, which is kind of cool. But yeah. I just want to play. I want to play some sharp practice or some bolt action. I don't really mind. I just want to play a game. I want to play. I want to play a game. Nice. That's it, really. I just want to. Yeah. I want to see some fiddly. I want to see some familiar faces and talk crap and laugh that GW fucked over all the scalpers with the Indominus box set and just silly little. That was a beautiful move from them. I'm sorry.
No, it was.
What did they do? I don't understand.
No, it's like the Indomitus box had the new Primaris and the new Necrons in it, and they initially said it was only going to be a limited print run. So then all of the fucking dickheads went and bought like 5 boxes of them. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to sell them on eBay for double the price. And they went, oh well, because the demand was so great, we're doing a second print run.
So it's print to order. So if you order it, they'll print it for you. It won't come in the nice box, and you won't get it for a few months. But you can still get it for the same price. So at that point, the second-hand market for that just went through the floor.
crashed.
The bottom fell out of it.
Basically, you're only investing in a nice, pretty
It
box.
was so good just to see, like, you could feel
nice.
the butt hurt just emanating through screens. It was great. Like,
I'm really happy about that.
it's so good. But it's just like just talking that kind of crap. You know, where you just like just want to be there talking rubbish and looking at a thing, going like, "Why hasn't this been errated yet? This is stupid."
You want your community back. The community, getting the community back is potentially stronger than the game itself.
Oh yeah, it is because it's all very well and good typing shit on Discord.
What type of game you're into? You just want to hang out with the crowd, right?
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I chat shit with like the historical gamers. I don't play any historical games. It's like...
Yeah, to be fair, I do. I waltz up and go, "Your game is shit. How are you?"
Oh, so friendly.
I'm joking.
We
that's
we
fine.
just
They
see
can
you
walk up back to me and go, "Man, your game's
crying.
crap. By the way, how is your family doing?"
See
all right?
you crying in the corner because no one's playing your game.
Yeah, I'm
He's
like,
like,
"Oh god,
"Oh."
you're a miserable sack of shit and you kill games. By the way, do you want to come round? I've got a barbecue going. I'll look after you." It's all just we're all just one big, nice, happy load of people that just want to just
Filthy
be happy.
casuals.
I don't know about nice.
No, bunch of twats. That understand
because
each
we've
other.
known each other each other for so long. We're just assholes to each other.
We're
so
understandable dickheads.
Yeah.
I think I can tell you. I've got a little thing. I've got
Anyway.
a countdown timer.
Oh, are we
I've
adding?
got a countdown timer of how many days it's been since we've been to the club.
Okay.
Oh.
Actually, do we want to know this?
Nah,
And do we want to know this? Because I suppose whatever day we're going to say this, but it's we're recording this. All right, we're recording this on the 4th of September. So as of from the 4th of September, and whenever you decided to hear this, add the many days. How long have we been off for?
I've realised I got the wrong day.
Oh no!
Oh, good start.
It's 100.
So you've been counting down since
173 days.
173 days.
So we have missed 43 club nights.
43? No, it's less than that, isn't it?
No, it's less than that.
Oh no! What am I doing? 143 divided by 7. 20.
Oh, that's still too much.
Hey.
20.
20. It's like nearly
Happy
horrible.
10th birthday, club.
nearly half a year.
I did actually think. I did say this. We did actually take a joke about this and said, now we reached 10 years,
10
we
years.
can just fucking sack the shit off, right? And then.
Now it's
Oh
not.
no, I didn't mean it. I wonder. I did sit there and everyone go when this came along. I did get a couple of messages saying, not only do you kill games, Hamish, you apparently have this way of killing an entire community of people.
Don't worry. When it dies, I'm going to start another one. Only rule is no Hamishes.
It's going to be the no Hamish.
No, can I still
why
attack?
is
Can I?
the other Hamish in there? Oh yeah.
I'm not Hamish. I'm Giuseppe. Just have my eyes. I have that fucking glasses with the mustache on. I'm Geppetto. No, Geppetto. That's it. That'll be my name. That's my alias. I'm Geppetto. Hey. That was meant to formulate a hilarious.
No, I was doing a
laugh out of
Simpsons
everyone.
callback. It's the No Homer Club. The
I
No
didn't
Homer
get it.
Club.
Didn't watch that.
The Stone Cutters.
Oh shit! Yeah. Oh yeah. That okay. Fine.
Anyway, as
That's
always, if you've enjoyed this one, do give us some love on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you've managed to find this. I don't know. So we're on Facebook. If you don't know that, well, yeah, give us some love there. As always, send us some feedback, mainly towards Hamish. Ask him stupid questions. Let us know what you want to do when you go back to regular gaming. We'd love to hear what you want to do in your feedback, as always. And as always, we will try and get back to any more questions you have. We're going to try and record more regularly, aren't we, Hamish?
We say that every time, but yeah.
It's like you've had one between the last time I was on
summer
here,
break.
maybe?
It was the summer break. It's.
Oh.
Yeah, we had one. I chatted to what's his face. I'm rubbish with names.
What's his face from that
game I really like.
Whatever that game is.
Oh no. Yeah, Giacomo. That's it. Very popular clothing brand. Yeah, for the larger men.
Fatties.
Corvus large belly.
All right. I reckon we should.
Should we get should we get a Giacomo sponsorship? I mean, I think. Well,
did you know that was my nickname in school?
Yeah, I know. It's like, well, I think it's like, well, I mean, it's like considering our target audience and stuff like that.
The advert with
some of the people in the club, myself included, are a little bit larger inclined. So
yeah, they're a bit. Well, what's that big hippo from Madagascar? What's his name?
That's too.
His name.
The hippo was a her.
Yeah, I know the hippo was a her, but she found this guy called I think it was like Motto.
I have no idea.
This is big chunky hippo.
Because you've got kids, but we haven't got kids.
Oh well. Anyway, see you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.